Hello, everyone. Today's creative writing assignment is ironic limericks. Yesterday, you learned about irony and the three types of irony: dramatic, situational, and verbal. And today, you're going to be writing two limericks, one using verbal irony and one using situational irony. We're not going to write a poem using dramatic irony because dramatic irony is typically found in longer pieces and not short poems. So we're just going to focus on the other two today. So to begin, we need to talk about a limerick. A limerick is just a fun, lighthearted poem. Oftentimes it's very funny, but it's really just a simple, sort of childish-like poem that follows a very specific rule regarding lines and rhyme and syllables. So here is one. An ambitious young fellow named Matt tried to parachute using his hat. Folks below looked so small as he started to fall, then got bigger and splat. So there's my limerick, and it doesn't have any irony in it, so don't worry about looking for that yet. I just wanted to kind of show you the structure of a limerick. So the first rule is it's 5 lines. So you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is 5 lines long. And then it follows an AABBA rhyme scheme. What that means is these 3 lines all rhyme, and these 2 rhyme. So when you're talking about rhyme scheme, you look at the very last word or the last syllable of a line. So in this case, it's Matt. And you assign that first one a letter A, because A is the first letter of the alphabet. And then the second line, the last word is hat. Since hat rhymes with Matt, that is also an A. Then we have small, and small does not rhyme with Matt or hat, so we give it a letter B. That's the second letter of the alphabet. And then fall, we look to see, does it rhyme? Yep, it rhymes with small, so we give that a B. And then splat rhymes with hat and Matt, so we're going to give that an A. You wouldn't typically put these letters in your poem or in your limerick. I put them there so you could see what I mean by rhyme scheme. So you want your first, your second, and your fifth line to all end in words that rhyme. And you want these two, your third and your fourth lines, to have the last word rhyme with each other. The final rule is syllables. Syllables need to be counted out, and lines 1, 2, and 5, so the A, and the A, these 3 lines, all should be between 8 and 9 syllables long. So when we look at this one, N, that's 1 syllable. Ambitious, that's 3 syllables. Young is 1. Fellow is 2. Named is 1, and Matt is 1. So if we count it all up, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 syllables. And that is within my range. The next line, tried to parachute using his hat. Tried is 1 syllable. This is 1, so we're up to 2 syllables. Parachute, that'd be 3, 4, 5. Using, be 6, 7. His is 8 and hat is 9. So again, it follows that range. It's good to go. Folks below looked so small. Folks is 1, below is 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3 syllables. Looked is 4. So is 5. Small is 6. That is also within that range. As he started to fall. As 1 syllable, he, second syllable, started. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, that works. And then finally, then got bigger and bigger and bigger and splat. So here's 1 syllable, 2, bigger, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 syllables. So that is really it for your limerick. Counting out your syllables, making sure your lines rhyme. For today's assignment, like I said, you're going to write 2 limericks. The first one is a limerick using verbal irony. So I wrote a limerick. Mim's boyfriend began to plead and whine. What is wrong? Just give me a sign. Mim wrinkled her nose and scrunched up her toes and yelled to him, nothing, I'm fine. So clearly that is verbal irony, and I have a big arrow pointing to the verbal irony because she is not fine. That is the opposite of what she means. So that's the definition of verbal irony. When you write your poem, you should indicate where your verbal irony is. And most likely it'll be the last line, but not necessarily. The next poem that you're going to write is situational irony. Perfect shoes I couldn't help but crave. Too much money I'd need to save. I put up a fight to work day and night, bought the shoes, and they just weren't my fave. So this is situational irony. It's the exact opposite of what I expected. I saw these shoes, I thought they were perfect. I expected them to be my favorite. I worked hard, I saved my money, and then they ended up not being my favorite. So that's situational irony. And again, I put an arrow pointing to my situational irony. In both poems, I have the 5 lines. I have my rhyme scheme, so crave, save, and fave rhyme, and fight and night rhyme. If you count out my syllables, you will see that I have the correct number of syllables for each line. Going back to my verbal irony poem, same thing, 5 lines, wine, sign, and fine rhyme, and then nose and toes rhyme. And again, I have the proper number of syllables. Now, when you're writing these poems for your assignment, you're going to create a document. Actually, I'm going to create a document. You just have to type into it. You're going to type your verbal irony poem. You're going to indicate where your verbal irony is in the poem. Make sure it follows all the rules. And then you're going to do the same thing for situational irony. I wrote mine and didn't really worry about syllables. I just kind of wrote it and counted the syllables and then figured out how many I needed to leave or add. So for instance, when I wrote this one, I think I started with the perfect shoes that I couldn't help but crave. And I saw it was too many syllables. So I got rid of the word the and that to make sure that I had 9 syllables. So play with it. It takes a little bit of time, but you kind of get a rhythm. If you're looking for words to use that rhyme, go into Google and type words that rhyme with crave or words that rhyme with save or whatever word you choose to use. It's very, very easy to find rhyming words online, so you don't have to think too hard on that. I think that is it for today. If you have questions, just let me know. But again, you're writing 2 poems on the document that I provided for you. Can't wait to read them. Have a great day.